Hello, welcome back to another section of programming tutorials on Flutter basics. We are going to look at some basic layout widgets in Flutter. So, as you can see on the screen, we have a Flutter application with only text at center of our screen saying layouts in Flutter. So, we are basically going to look at how we can lay out other widgets on our screen in building our applications. I'm going to create a stateless class, stateless widget here and name it my layouts. Okay, so I will come to the material app and replace the home with my layouts widget. All right, so when hot reload, we are seeing an dark empty screen at the moment because it's just a container. Okay, so we can give the container a color. We call colors dot number. We save it. Control S to save it. You can see a color change. Okay, so we can call the child of the container and pass a test widget to it and say learning. It requires a string, so learning to lay out widgets. We save it and we see it somewhere at the top. So we can wrap the text with center so that we can have the um, learning to lay out widgets at the center. All right, so we come to center. So I'm getting this dialog by either selecting the widget and clicking on this bulb icon here, or you hit on control plus dot or full stop, then you get this. Then there are some quick access that you can have here. Others you have to type them manually. So if you have to type them manually, you come to wrap with widget. Else, if it's available, you just select wrap with center. Okay, so we wrap with center, then we save it. Okay, so we will need to wrap this with a scaffold to get a proper view. So with that, I'll select widgets. Now say scaffold. And scaffold has property called body instead of child. So we replace the child with body. Okay, we save it. Okay, we're having a better view now. All right, so we are having our test centered. So we can see the widget's center, but it is affecting the widget text. So we are laying out the widget text at the center, though we can see the layout visually on the screen, but we can see their effects on other widgets on the screen. Okay, so this is with a container and test widget. Let's quickly move to some common layout we mostly use. That is either align laying out things horizontally or vertically. So let's look at some options available. So we're going to um called column widget. All right. Then this column has a property called children. Okay. So the children takes widgets, right? So we are going to call children and pass different. It takes as many as it can. Okay, so child, center, child, icons, icons dot home. Pass a color to it. You can say colors dot red. We save it. We are seeing it at the top. It's because of how the layout is working. So to get it in a proper view, we wrap our scaffold or our column in a safe area, a widget called safe area. We can't see it on the screen, but we can see its effects. So we wrap it widgets and type safe area. We save it. Alright. So we are seeing our column and the container with our icon home. So now let's duplicate. Alright, so we are seeing the color stretch from left to right because it is taking the full width of the screen, but the height is taking that of the child. Okay, so we can increase the height by calling height and passing a double value to it. Yes, let's give it a bigger one so we can see something. Okay, so we can see the height of the container being increased. We can also manipulate the weight and give it 50. All right, there we see. So we can have multiple children of widgets within our column widgets. Okay, so I save this. Let me change color to amber. Change this to green. So I save this, and you're seeing three different colors. All right. So this is within the column layout widget. Let me give it 100, 100. It should be the width rather. It should be height rather. So let's give 200, 200, and 200. Let's save. All right. So we are seeing this is 7,000. Okay. So let's keep increasing a little bit to have them full. But first, let's look at some other properties. So this have alignment. The column is helping you lay out your widgets, and it also has alignment. So the main alignment and the cross axis alignment. So the main axis alignment is on the main stretch of the column. So the column stretch from top to down. That is like, yes, from the top of the screen to the bottom of the screen. And the cross axis is from the width, that is the width, that's the left of the screen to the right of the screen. So the cross axis is taking care of the width alignment on the width, and the main axis is taking uh, the arrangement on the horizontal aspect, sorry, the vertical aspect of the screen. So let's try and manipulate something here. So we're going to say main axis, then we pass main axis alignment dot end. We can see the three containers moved to the bottom. We can also go to um, dots, space around, space between, space evenly. So let's go to space around. So we are seeing space around each widget in the vertical form, so we can see the white spaces in between the containers vertically. We can also manipulate its cross axis, which is its horizontal alignment or arrangement. So let's say cross axis alignment dot stretch. We could see the containers are being stretched to show the width, the horizontal space or the available width. We can also change that and also say end. So you see it moving from the left to the right side. Well, this did not work. Alright, can also have center. We have stretch. We can also have other ones. Okay, so not just the stretch. So we have baseline, center, and start, stretch, and values. Okay, so there are a lot you can do with it. We can also, let's try to have row, change the column to row. So the row is just like the column, but it arranges its children from the horizontal perspective, so that's the left to right of the screen. Okay, so we are having it this way. Let's comment out these properties first and see the default layout of it. So by default, this is how it is. So by default, we can see main axis alignment dot start. So the main axis alignment for the row. So for column, the main axis was the vertical, but for row, the main axis is horizontal and the cross axis is vertical. Right. So just opposite of the column. So if you want to arrange things in that manner, in the horizontal way, you use row. The opposite, you go for column. Okay. So let's imagine scenarios where we need to put a lot of items in a row or a column. Let's see what happens. You can see from the left side, the right side edge, we are having this overflow, which is this yellow and black lines. So that is called an overflow. With a row, it should fit exactly as the width of the screen. Okay, so whenever the items exceeds the maximum length of the uh, maximum size of the row, it is going to be seen as an overflow. Okay, so how do we deal with it? So we can have wrap this row with another widget called single child scroll view. Then we are going to change its axis. So you can see this axis is by default vertical, but we want to manipulate it so that it can fix the horizontal alignment that we want. So we are going to call axis uh, physics rather scroll direction. Scroll direction. Then we call axis dot horizontal. So we save this. Then it takes care of the overflow, so we can now scroll to see the remaining ones. Okay, so this is also a layout widget, so it can be laid out horizontally or vertically. So with that, let's there's another widget that also does similar thing, so we can remove this widget and change the row to list view. The list view is just like the row or column, but for it has an infinite scroll. So for that you can scroll the number of items within it, unless like a column or row that has a fixed, it is fixed to the height and the width of the phone screen. So if we save this, we will see we are able to scroll. That is by default the axis is horizontal, sorry, vertical, so you can see it is scrolled. If not, we should change this to a column. We are seeing an overflow at the bottom of the screen. All right, so we are taking care of that with the help of a layout widget called list view. Okay, so we've talked about list view, we've talked about column, we've talked about row. If you look at a container, if you also look at the single child scroll view, these are common widgets that we'll be using most often in the building applications. When you look at some interfaces like authentication, like not authentication, like the sign up or the login, we lay out things either horizontally or vertically in some dashboards. So we are always going to use either a container, either a column, a list view, a test. So a test is not a layout widget, either a center or any other widget that helps you to align your widget in a particular place. You can also wrap this with align. We have a widget also called align. It also helps you to align your widget in a particular way. All right. So right now, what we are having is taking the whole width of the screen. So we might not see the effects when we align it. So let's see align. then that one goes by alignment dot bottom center, bottom left, bottom right, whatever. So it depends on what you want. Let's have effect. Let's see how the effect is. So I'm going to clear all this. Okay, let me copy one. I think I have one. Collapse this and have this here. Okay, so we now have one container. All right. So now let's wrap the container with align widget, and call the alignment. See alignment dot, let's say, bottom center. We see the container move to the bottom center. Left, top left, we are seeing the container move to the top left. We go to top right. Top center, top right. You can go to the bottom left or bottom right. So these things are helping us to lay out other widgets in a particular position. All right. So there are numerous of widgets that helps us in aligning uh, widgets. So I'll try and leave a list of them, not all, but some, in the description area, so you can go through them one after the other. You can also head over to flutter.dev to look at some most common used widgets for aligning, or sorry, laying out other widgets as well. Thank you for watching this video, and please do also subscribe to this channel so that you can get more of such content. And if this video really helped you, please don't hesitate to hit the like button and leave your thoughts in the comments section. Until then, I'll see you in the next video.